This year's theme for International Women's Day is Each for Equal. Digital platform With Her in Mind network is calling for a more general equal world. And today, women.com.au will release their Power Women 2020 series. And earlier this week, I had the pleasure to talk to their editor, Eliza Cracknell. Eliza, welcome. WHIM have released their Power Women 2020 series, the next generation of Power Women. Tell us about them.
Yeah, so the women.com.au Power Women series, we are profiling 25 women, releasing one each week to keep you all in suspense. And these women are the next-gen power players. They're the women who are changing the world in little ways and as well as big ways. So we have MP Zali Steggall, she's on the list, who's doing amazing things for climate change at the moment. We also have a 16-year-old Angelina Aurora, who has created a biodegradable plastic, which is incredible. I don't even know how a 16-year-old comes up with that. I wasn't doing that at 16. We also have AJ Clementine, who is a transgender role model through her YouTube channel. We also have Flex Mammy, another social media influencer who really is changing the conversation on body positivity as well as sexual liberation. Another person is Nina Fennell, who is a journalist, and she is in charge of the Let Her Speak campaign, which is about empowering sexual violence victims. So there is a lot. There's so many, and we're giving them a platform so that we can hear their stories. We're a new site. We're only 3 years old. We turned 3 on International Women's Day. So, you know, for us, it's about paying it forward to these women, providing them a platform and telling their story.
Wow, we've got some very strong, powerful women there.
Yeah, it would be a great dinner party with all of them, I think.
Wouldn't it? So this year's theme is Each for Equal, a call for more gender equal world support. How important is it for you and your team at Women?
It's so important, and I think Each for Equal is a fantastic theme because it holds us all accountable. Not just you, not just me, but men as well. We all, as individuals, we can all challenge stereotypes, we can all fight bias, and we can all celebrate women's achievements, and that's what we're trying to do with our Power Women series. I know that, just me personally, my grandma, when she was growing up, didn't have anywhere near as many opportunities as I have. When she was married, she had to quit her job at the post office as a clerk. When I was married, I was encouraged, I was offered more jobs, you know. Times have changed, so we need to celebrate, but we also do need to acknowledge that there's a lot more to be done. So there are ways that we can challenge the social norms. There are political ways we can do it. There are grassroots ways that we can do it. And there's also just everyday tiny little things we can do that make the world more equal. It could be something as simple as you're at a barbecue and a man makes a comment like, oh, well, you can go to the kitchen. No, like, don't just go to the kitchen, call him up on it, and he would be shocked at that unconscious bias that he has. Well, most probably he'll be shocked. But just even calling out those little tiny details in life can make such a big difference to next generations and role models that are looking up to adults.
Yeah, it's so true, isn't it? Because sometimes it's just a little habit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's to a bigger meaning. So, Eliza, what are some of the different ways for women to feel powerful, do you think?
Yeah, this is a great question, because when you feel powerless, it is pretty, you know, you lack self-esteem, you don't want to go on. When you feel powerful, it's to do with your confidence, and you feel like you can take on the world, and that's what everyone wants to feel. There's so many ways you can have power today, but I think a big one is representation, which is what we're trying to do with this Power Women series. It's, you know, little girls looking up and seeing females on TV, saying, oh, I can do that, seeing female politicians. And I think that's where a lot of debate, when it comes to quotas and systems like that, people think, oh, but you know, they'll argue the merit system. But actually seeing people in positions of power, seeing females in positions of power, can be so profound for the next generation. So that representation is really important. I think also there's a lot of policy change that can help with power. I think there's, you know, the childcare subsidy can be really challenging for working parents, like especially, and ends up falling back on the mum. I think there's also ways, work arrangements that we can look at that help women if they do want to take time off to have children, that allows them to keep up with their male colleagues. So there are so many ways. There's so many ways.
There's a long list, isn't there? But we're certainly, you know, moving in the right direction in a lot of those areas. And Eliza, what's been the goal at WHIM Women for this year's International Women's Day?
The goal this year, like I said before, has been representation and creating great role models. It also is about challenging stereotypes. So these are women who are doing things differently. And it's also showcasing that there's so many different ways to be a woman today. You can have children, you don't have to have children, you can be born a man and become a woman. There are so many ways to feel, to act, and I think it's celebrating that. I think also we can often be bogged down in a negative news cycle, you know, the pay gap. A lot is happening at the moment with domestic violence, and I think that there are a lot of ways for us to come, but I think it's also nice to step back and say, well, this is what we have achieved, and as females, that is very empowering to know that we have come so far.
Yeah, well said. Well, happy birthday to women, 3 years. On Sunday, what is the website, Eliza, for people to find out more information?
Yeah, so you can head to women.com.au, which is WHIMN.com.au.
Thank you so much, Eliza.
Thank you.